Hello, everyone. This is me, Pastor Stephen of Healthy Expressions. I'm here again to talk about relationship and marriage issues and tips and anything to help uh, the listener, you guys, just to learn and grow and help your relationship and marriage to grow. And so I hope that you're having a great day. Hope you had a great week so far. So I'm here to hopefully, as you've been watching these videos, that you're getting some tips and little things that you can do to tweak your relationship and marriage to make it better, to make it healthier, to make it last. And so, we've been going along with these little tips like how to argue in a healthy way, how to use healthy words so that you don't get into confrontation or arguments or disagreements. And we also talked about what conditional love is, what is unconditional love, how to gain emotional health and emotional connectiveness with the other person, your partner or your spouse. And so hopefully you've been, learning some of these great things and trying to apply them. And here's the thing is you can receive all this knowledge, but until you put it in practice, until you make it useful in your life, in your relationship or marriage, it does no good. Once you learn, then you have to use it. So the couples that I work with, I give them homework and I say, well, today we learned about this. Okay, so what are you going to do to implement those things that you learned? Because there's people that I know that have great knowledge, but until they use that knowledge into practice, into their very own lives, it's meaningless. It doesn't do any good to them. So I'm hoping that you as a listener are watching these videos and you're writing some things down or picking some things up and then implementing them into your relationship or marriage, and then it's helping you. So today we are going to talk about honesty. And this is a very interesting topic. I think I usually tell couples there's 4 things you must have in your relationship or marriage to make it stable and strong. One is trust. Second is forgiveness. Third is patience. And the last one, the fourth one, is honesty. Honesty with not only the other person, but yourself. But today, we're going to talk about 7 tips for being honest without negativity. So, if you like my background, it's very artsy, very, plants and nature. And so I hope you enjoy it. But I want us to talk about 2 aspects or 2 types of honesty, right? I live in the East Coast, so we have a thing called brutal honesty. And brutal honesty is you say something to the other person, it's factual, it's true, but you don't care about their feelings. That's brutal truth. And there are a lot of people that say in their relationship or marriage, this is how I grew up, my family was like this. But the thing is, you don't have to bring that into your relationship or marriage. You can be honest, and honesty is great. But I think the way that you apply that honesty to the other person and to yourself, brutal honesty does not help. That's only in the corporate world, right? Again, it's factual, but it means you don't care about their feelings. If in your relationship or marriage you have brutal truth, it means that you're telling stuff that is truthful to the other person, but you just don't care about their feelings. And that is wrong. That's a no-no. you shouldn't have that. And so, but you should have loving honesty. And loving honesty is you're telling the truth, but you do it out of love. And you could do it in multiple ways. You could do it in a way where you're very selective with your words. You could be very, not just blurt it out, but you kind of prepare them before you say something honest to them that they have to change or something that you're concerned about. But it is because you love them, right? And, I've talked to people, they say, well, I love my spouse, but I just, brutal honesty is how I do things. And I say that's, they may not say something, they might not say anything, but you're slowly destroying or hurting, not just hurting their feelings, but destroying their spirit. Because when you use brutal truth, it's more of a talking down to, it's more of that the other person that you're telling this to is below you. In a healthy relationship or marriage, there's never a talking down to, right? It's a partnership. It's equal. And so brutal truth, it should not be there. It should be loving truth. So I'm going to give you 7 tips for being honest without being negative. Okay. The first thing is be gentle. Okay. That means that you have to, like a speech, you have to prepare what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. And you may think that's a lot of work, and it is, but doesn't your relationship or marriage or the other person, isn't it worth it? Isn't it, if you say that you love the other person and you care about them, don't you want to be gentle and tell them truthful things without hurting them? So I usually tell couples, like, write it out before you say something that is uncomfortable, is confrontational. Do and prepare everything you can to make sure that the person doesn't feel attacked. So the first tip of being honest without being negative is be gentle. The second is ask yourself, does this help the other person? So why do you why are you honest and you tell them a truthful fact, right? Why are you saying it to them? Is it because you're trying to want to control the other person, control the relationship or marriage? Is it so to help them become a better, well-rounded person or in their career if you give them honest truths about their career? But really ask yourself, is it, I'm saying this truth to this other person because I want to help them or because I just want to prove that I'm right or to shape them into the way that I think baby should be? This is a very important question when you're about to be honest with the other person. Does this help the other person, right? Is it beneficial for them? And that honesty, remember, it has to go with yourself first. Am I honestly being honest to the other person by being honest with myself in my heart? And why am I trying to correct them? Why do I want to talk about this issue? Is it because I want to be right? Is it because I want to make this relationship I married a certain way, in my way? You have to ask yourself, does this help the other person? Okay. Number three, start with a positive, right? Um, it's 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 like this. If people who come over to visit you, right? You have guests coming over for dinner, for example. You're not gonna prepare the meal and have a nice garnish and nice sides. You want the presentation to be good. You wouldn't give them in the pot. Here's dinner, or if you ordered out, hey, just in the box. No, people usually take it out and make it look nice, put it on the dining room table, put silverware out to make it presentable, right? Well, just like something that you want to be honest with your partner or your spouse, start with the positive, like make it so that they would be able to accept it without being defensive, without feeling hurt or attacked. And another illustration is, kids don't like vegetables. So you know what? Yeah, it's not that healthy, but you want them to eat vegetables. So you dip it in cheese, or you fry it. I don't know. I'm not a cook, but there are different ways where you can make vegetables presentable, right? So when you're about to say something honest to your partner, spouse, so that it can be accepted and easily taken in, that you have to prepare it wisely. So start with a positive. Tell them you love them. Tell them, wow, some great things pertaining to that topic that you want to talk about to them. And then slowly transition into that conversation. But you have to start with the positive. Don't give them unnecessary fluff, right? But if because I am a pastor, and sometimes when I do preach, my wife would say concerns or criticisms. And so I would tell her, if you would tell me in a certain way, it's better accepted. But if it seems like it's very critical and just pointing out all the wrong things, I'm going to shut down. I'm not going to listen to you. The same with your spouse or your significant other. If you're going to talk to them about something and you want to be honest, you have to prepare it. You have to, in the same way that the way that maybe you would like someone to tell you and to bring something up so that you can change it, or something that they're concerned about. Wouldn't you like to hear it in a very acceptable way, something that you can swallow, something that you can receive and actually do something about it? So start with the positive, okay? So I said, be gentle. Ask yourself, does this help the other person? Number three, start with the positive. And number four, have your conversation in private. The worst thing that you can do is bring something up when there are people around. And for you parents, if you have kids, it is the wrong thing to bring something up, to be brutally honest in front of the kids. You never want to make your partner or your spouse look bad or looked in a negative way to your kids. You don't want anyone to know your business. When I meet with couples, they always say they've been talking to their family or friends. Well, you know that saying, too many cooks in the kitchen, it spoils the food? That's true. Because if you tell your family and friends, guess who said they're going to be on? They're going to be on yours. And they don't maybe never hear the perspective of the other person. So no one should be or have the right to be in your conversation, especially when you want to bring something up. So have your conversation in private. Let no one else know what's in your marriage or your relationship. It's no one's business. It's just you two, right? And if you need a third party, a counselor, a relationship marriage coach, then it'll just be the three of us. Okay. It should be private. If people know that you're having difficulties in your relationship or marriage, just tell them, hey, we're going through some things, but we're working it out. And that's it. Number 5, focus on the behavior or situation instead of the person. What we tend to do is we attack the person, right? If you are someone that likes your home or your apartment to be clean, and your partner or your spouse is not that same level of cleanliness, you can talk to them about, picking up their clothes. You don't call them a slob. You don't attack them. You don't attack their character. You don't talk down to them. You don't ridicule them. You focus on the behavior or situation instead of the person. When you attack the person or talk down to them, they're going to defend themselves. They're going to be on guard. They're going to be on the edge. So more than likely that when you bring up this honest conversation with that person, something that they need to change, something they need to improve, and you talk down to them and you're attacking them, they're going to be on guard and they're on edge ready for a fight. Focus on the behavior. So if you're, a clean person and your partner or spouse isn't, you don't call them a slob. You don't say that you're so messy. You just tell them it would be helpful and beneficial if you can help me, keep this home or this place that we stay clean, right? That would be beneficial for us. Then we wouldn't lose things. We would be able to find things quickly. Like all these things, you focus on the behavior or situation instead of the person. Never attack the person. Never degrade them. Never talk down to them. Never call them names. You point out the behavior or situation that you want to address. You don't call them lazy. You don't call them a sloppy or a garbage person. You just say, I feel like, I would like to keep this home or apartment clean, but you don't, or you keep your clothes everywhere. Can we talk about this, right? Instead of, you're a lazy bum, you're so messy, all this, then you're inevitably going to start fighting and arguing and escalating the situation, whereas it doesn't have to go to that place. So focus on the behavior situation instead of the person. Number 6, question your motivation, right? I think number 2, it says, ask yourself, does this help the other person? This is very similar, right? Ask yourself, does this help the other person? You want to question your motivation. Why are you bringing up a certain trait or thing that annoys you about the other person? Why do you want to bring up a certain topic? Is it because it needs to be addressed? Or is it because you kind of want to get back at them? Because maybe they criticize something about you or your mannerisms or your behavior, and you want to get back at them because your feelings were hurt, your pride was hurt. So you want to get back at them. Question your motivation. Am I saying this to help my partner or spouse, or is it to get back at them? Right? There's a thing that a lot of people in relationships or marriages, they call tit for tat game, right? I call you a name, you call me back a name. If I do something mean to you, you have to do something mean back at me. Tit for tat. And when you get into that game of tit for tat game in a relationship or marriage, no one is the winner. No one. Both people play, both people lose. There are no winners. And that tit for tat game is done when you're very young, you're a child, you're emotionally immature. So ask yourself, do I play, or do my partner, my significant other, my spouse, do we play that game tit for tat? And if you do, then it shows that both you are emotionally mature. Both you need to be able to communicate. Both you need to say, hey, I don't want to fall into this trap. I don't want to get like, you hurt me, so I want to hurt you back. You did this to me, I want to do that to you again, back at you. So question your motivation. Why do you want to bring that topic up? Why do you want to talk to that person? Why do you want to, correct them? Ask yourself that question. Is it to really help them, or is it to hurt them? And again, that honesty, it comes back to you. If I bring this up, does it help them? Or do I bring it up because I want things in a certain way, or I want to get back at them? So it's really hard for people to be honest with themselves, to be truthful. There were many instances of when my wife and I would get into an argument, and she would say something to hurt me, not purposely, but I usually, in an earlier part of our marriage, I wanted to get back at her. She hurt me. But as I look back, there's nothing that no good came out of it. It actually made it worse. It actually prolonged the argument. It actually increased the argument so that we would be angry at each other for days. So if you and your spouse are playing tit for tat, both you guys are going to lose. There are no winners. So stop doing it. So question your motivation. And seventh and the last is think about the likely outcome. Remember, when couples get into an argument, their emotions take over, and they start to say a lot of stupid things, and they start to do a lot of stupid things action-wise as well. When you get emotional, when you get upset and angry, and if you're a person that sees red, then usually the outcome will be very bad. Usually the outcome goes where both of you start saying nasty things to each other that you really don't mean. There is the outcome of maybe not speaking to each other for a few hours or a few days, or one person leaving the premises for hours or days. And usually the reconciliation will take longer. So think about the likely outcome, right? And that aspect is about humbleness. In order for a couple to really make their relationship healthy and whole and strong, you have to put your own pride off to the side. You have to put your pride off to the side so that you can be humble enough to listen to the other person, to connect with the other person, and to love the other person. Don't go in a situation where the conversation and then the argument and the disagreement is out of control. Think about the likely outcome if you tell the truth, right? Or about a certain topic or certain issue about the other person. And if you think that you are an honest person, but you have a little wisdom that says, you know what, it's a small thing, maybe I shouldn't bring it up. See, I've been married for 24 years, and I would say about 95 to 98%, and I'm being very generous, are arguments that my wife and I had that, we became upset and angry, and maybe we didn't talk for a few hours or a few days. And as I look back at them, I don't remember them. They're pointless. They were small. They were insignificant. So I ask you, if you want to be honest, and it's little things, not major things. It's little things. It's not worth it, right? As I look back on my 24 years of marriage, maybe 5% or less was like big stuff. And we eventually talked about it, worked it out, worked as a team, and we found solutions. But if you and the other person, you're fighting and arguing about stuff that really, really, in the big scope of life and big scope of your relationship or marriage, if it means nothing, then let it go. Let it go. See, the more you hold on to that issue, that anger, as you hold on to that and you only have one hand, you're going to slowly let go of the other person. And you're going to hold on to that anger. You're going to hold on to the resentment, to hold on to the truth, the honesty. But while you're holding on to that, slowly you're letting go that other person, your significant other, your spouse. So use loving honesty in your relationship, in your marriage, to be healthy. I hope you took those 7 tips. Hope you use it. I hope that if you have any issues, I would love to help you. Check out my website at the end, healthyexpressions.online. It has my information, my email, my phone number. Reach out to me. We'll go from there so you can have a healthy relationship or marriage. You have a good day. You have a good week, and I'll see you later. Bye now.